Testing. Check one, check two. Testing. Check one, check two. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Team FCB Daily. Check one, check two. Testing. Check one. Howdy ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel guys, and welcome back to Team FCB Daily. In today's segment we will be taking a look at all the news surrounding Barcelona. First up, to start with, it is saddening that a certain player, Julian Araujo, cannot play for Barcelona, even for Barca Athletic this season. But journalist Akraf Benyard has confirmed that the team is very much happy with what he offers in the first team training. The journalist said that even the player himself is very happy because he has adapted quickly to the city and also to the atmosphere at Camp Nou. Araujo, a Mexican international, joined Barcelona in January. Araujo, a Mexican international, joined Barcelona in February. Although he is a Culé, he cannot play for the first team or even the Barca Athletics team this season, as documentation for his transfer was slightly delayed, as a result of which he is not registered at the moment. So he continues to train, sometimes with the senior team and sometimes with the reserve team. Despite the evident problem at hand, Xavi has already affirmed the 21-year-old is adapting well to the new life, and come next season his service will be of great use. It is a real shame that Julian Araujo cannot play for us right now, but he can help us next season. He's a good footballer and he adapts well, the manager said earlier this month. Interestingly enough, regarding of the fact that Araujo's service can be put to great use next season, Barcelona are currently looking to sign a new right back in the summer, and if it does not happen, it will be interesting to see what plans the Blaugranas have for the Mexican internationals. For the moment, the 21-year-old is expected to be included in Barcelona pre-season tour, and from here on, the team will decide what needs to be done. Elsewhere, Rafinha was Barcelona's biggest bet last summer, as the forward joined the club for a fee of around 65 million euros including add-ons. But as we approach the final phase of the campaign, Rafinha has struggled to live up to his price tag. With 9 goals in 40 competitive matches, his form has been irregular, which has led to speculation over his future at the club. According to the Eurosport, Chelsea are one of the clubs keeping close tabs on his situation. The Premier League giant were locked in a bid war for Rafinha last summer, and although the offer was not much better than Barcelona, the player prefers although the offer was much better than Barca's one, the players prefer a move to Catalonia. Chelsea, though, have rekindled their interest in Rafinha, sensing a potential market opportunity to sign the player. Barcelona too are aware of the interest and the fact that they can recoup the investment they made last summer. But the Catalans have no intention to sanction the sales of the former Leeds United starlet just yet. They are prioritizing other sales with Ferran Torres and Ansu Fati among the players in the contention to departure. Barcelona are in precarious situation and might have to offload bunch of the star players in order to make way for new signing. But Rafinha is not on the top list of the at the top of the list as far as the exit concerns. The player for his part has no intention to leave Barcelona. All in all, he has the backing of Xavi, who believes there is room for improvement and want to continue fighting for his place in the side next season. However, the Brazilian exit has been completely ruled out. Barcelona will study any offer if the club believe they need to get rid of any more players in order to avoid financial fair play sanctions. So, only time will tell whether or not Chelsea can succeed in the pursuit of Rafinha this summer. While speaking about Chelsea have created the rush in transfer windows, disrupting the market with the overflowing treasuries and hoping to buy success. In the process, they have created a catalog of players with overlapping profiles and four to even 5 players competing for a single starting spot. The situation is not sustainable in the long run, and Sky Sport reports that the English clubs see the need to sell 5 players in June. Going from the scale of list involved players like Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is one of the stars who is set to depart Stamford Bridge. The Gabriel striker was one of Barcelona heroes who pioneered a late comeback last season but has seen his career go to ruins at Chelsea. There is concessions between the player and the club to part ways, but the Blues will only do so for a mandatory benefit. Chelsea wish to recoup some of the money they spent on his signing last summer and will only let go of him if an offer of 10 million euros comes in. Barcelona see the player as a backup to Robert Lewandowski, with the Polish form significantly dropping off after the World Cup. Xavi's men have found themselves lacking a like-for-like replacement. However, the Catalan will only sign him on loan deal without a fee attached if Chelsea releases him from his contractual bond as a free agent. They do not intend to shell out any money for a player who played for them just over a year ago, especially given that he has no role in London. Aubameyang deeply wishes for a return to Barcelona. Aubameyang deeply wishes for return to Barcelona. For it, there is a resurrected his career last year. However, with Inter Milan willing to pay a fee for his signature, the situation could get complicated for Barcelona. Now let's continue with other players on our list. Barcelona are anticipating a series of departure as we move closer to the summer transfer window. While the likes of Ansu Fati and Ferran Torres are the primary linked with the move away from Camp Nou, there could be some surprise exits too. One of the players that could leave the club, probably on loan, is Pablo Torre. The player has struggled to carve out a name for himself in the starting 11 this season, playing a sporadic role in the first team. Despite the injuries of Pedri, Frankie de Jong, the former Racing Santander starlet has failed to accumulate regular minutes. Torre is still considering Torres is still considered one of the most valuable prospects in the team, with many believing that he could be an asset for Barcelona in years to come. But his struggle has forced Barcelona to consider a possible loan move at the end of the season. To that end, Mundo Deportivo claims that Rangers have reignited their interest in Pablo Torre. The Scottish Giants were interested in the midfielder before he joined Barcelona last summer and are now open to trying their luck once again this coming summer. Rangers have enjoyed immense success. Rangers have enjoyed immense success with the loan of Malik Tillman from Bayern Munich. They are looking to replicate that success by roping in Pablo Torres ahead of the new season. If Rangers succeed, Barcelona midfielder will have the opportunity to play in UEFA Champions League next season. It could go a long way to helping him. It could go a long way in helping him gain some vital experience before he comes back to Camp Nou with higher pedigree. However, Torres has appeared However, Torres, similar to Ricky Puig when he was with Barcelona, does not seem that kind to leaving Barcelona. It appears that he wants to fight for his place in the first team despite his lack of relevance in Xavi's plan. Therefore, it will be interesting to see what the future holds for the Spanish in the coming summer. Now to our final section of the news. With Barcelona looking to make cuts, as we've discussed before that Barcelona want to make cuts, there are several players who could be shown the door. And the other player that also comes up in the list is Eric Garcia, to be among the stars who could be exiled. But according to fresh reports from Javier Miguel of AS, there seemed to have been a change in stance with regard to Eric Garcia's status at the club. As per the report, Xavi Hernandez will continue to count on the former Manchester City ace next season. The Spanish international continuity at the club is all but guaranteed at this point, with a small caveat, which is that he will have a new role next season. Indeed, the reports state that Eric Garcia will be counted as a defensive midfielder by Barcelona coaching staff for next season instead of his natural role as a centre-back. This will be regardless of whether the club captain Sergio Busquets renews or leaves. Especially, Garcia will become an option for the pivotal position in the midfield, vacating the spot in defense for the incoming Inigo Martinez. As per the report, Xavi and his staff are very satisfied with what they have seen from Eric, even though he has not played a great deal this season. The ex-Manchester City ace started as a defensive midfielder against Elche earlier this month and gave a very, very good account of himself in that game. It is claimed that the coaching staff value his ability on the ball and his capability to combine with a teammate, as well as a defensive strength, and believe he can be converted into a very effective pivotal midfielder. It was director Jordi Cruyff who put forward the idea of using Eric Garcia as a defensive midfielder after it became clear that the club cannot sign preferred target Martinez Zubimendi from Real Sociedad in the summer. Now, Xavi has confidence in 22-year-old over this role. Furthermore, the youngster maturity and mental strength were also determining factors in the club deciding to stick with him and not offload him in the summer. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks once again for joining me today for right here on Team FCB Daily. But until next time, and as always, Visca El Barça. See you all later.